Yo, what is up guys, it's Zero here, and it's been one hell of a long time. How long ago? 10 fucking months. It's been 10 months, almost a year since I last posted. Where have I been? Well, I've been working all the time. 12 hours, 6 days a week, that's pretty much how it's been for me. As of recently, everything's died down a lot, so I'm getting back into this whole YouTube thing. Be patient with me. I'm going to try to upload consistently, but I can't guarantee anything because it's still work is kicking my ass. I just recently built up enough seniority there to where I can like avoid some of the overtime. That's basically how the overtime works. It's a complete bullshit system. There's nothing good about it. All the new hires get just completely shafted with overtime, so that way the people with seniority don't have to do it. Well, that doesn't help if you can't keep anybody, so yeah. That's not why you're here though. You're here for this top 10 VR list, VR games list. Let's just jump right into it.
In the number 10 spot, we have VR Dungeon Night. VR Dungeon Night is a dungeon crawler with random level generation and online co-op. You can explore dungeons, fight monsters, loot the dungeons, level up, and unlock different classes. There are 6 different classes, including Warrior, Thief, Mage, Ranger, Assassin, and Dungeon Knight. The weapon handling system is unique, I guess. Every class has different weapons, and these weapons including like axes, bows, pistols, magic spells, shields, and two-handers, and you can store them on your belt and use dual wielding for different combinations. It also has co-op multiplayer, of course, and the movement system is pretty unique, as in like it has a lot of different styles of movement. You have like full directional movement systems such as like teleportation, arm swing, touchpad control, and climbing to freely explore the dungeons. In the number 9 spot, we have Standout, Battle Royale. As you can tell by the title, it's a Battle Royale game. It's pretty much just PUBG in VR. I wouldn't necessarily compare the two as in like quality standards, but if you take a look at it on Steam, it does have very positive reviews, so I definitely recommend giving it a try if you're definitely into the whole Battle Royale thing. I think, me personally, it's kind of getting blown out of proportion. Everyone's doing it, but I mean, hey, if it's bringing in money, why not? It got my money, I guess. Anyways, yeah, go ahead and take a look at it. Have you ever just wanted to beat the living fuck out of big-ass barbarians? Yeah, me neither, but this game definitely provides that service for you. I don't really know how to explain it. I love these developers. They've made quite a few different games that are pretty awesome. But anyways, in this game, you just, like I said, you beat the shit out of giant barbarians with like different types of weapons. Like you can use your fists, a fucking mace, sword, fucking axe. I don't know. This seems like the best stress reliever. If you had a really bad day or something like that, just go in here and just beat the living shit out of a bunch of people. Why not? Alright, in the next spot on our list, we have War Dust. Now, if you've never heard of this game, this is most comparable to Battlefield, or at least what Battlefield was before Battlefield 5. No need to get in and all that nonsense, but anyways, it's a large-scale, 64 players on a map at a time. There's plenty of vehicles and weapons to use. Basically, a lot of people do compare it to Battlefield. Of course, the graphics aren't quite there, but what do you expect from VR? I mean, it's still an emerging platform, and it's definitely really demanding. So I would definitely recommend for, like I said, fans of Battlefield or large-scale PvP battles to definitely check this one out. I've had fun playing it, and I think you guys will like it too. Have you ever wanted to be a complete ninja badass? Well, this next game's for you. Raw Data is quite an interesting game. It kind of reminds me a lot of, what's that other game? I think it's Aeon or something like that. But anyways, you get to use guns, a bow, and a sword, and slash a bunch of enemies and stuff like that. It was completely built from the ground up for VR, and you get to choose between different heroes. It has a cross-platform online co-op, and it has a hostile takeover PvP mode. Other than that, this game's pretty much just non-stop action, and it's really badass. Once you get into the game, it definitely feels like one hell of an experience, and I definitely recommend it for anybody. Alright, next up on our list we have Skyrim VR. Now, if you don't know what Skyrim is, then you've probably been living under a rock. I don't feel like I need to explain this one. I'll let the video do the job of explaining it if you haven't already heard of Skyrim. It's one of the most popular games that have come out in the past decade. So, yeah. I had to put this one on the list. Alright, and next up, another one from Bethesda, we have Fallout 4 VR. Now, I was more excited about this one than I was Skyrim. I never really got too into Skyrim. Don't get me wrong, it was still a great game, but it's just not quite my style. At that same time, I was getting into Dark Souls, and, well, I like Dark Souls a lot more. But that being said, I don't know if a Dark Souls VR would be something that should be introduced. Again, Fallout 4, I don't think I need to explain that one either. If you don't know what it is, just check out the video. I highly doubt that any one of my viewers is not gonna, or is, fuck, I don't know what I'm saying. Either way, all you guys will know what Fallout is, hopefully. If you don't, then, hey, here it is. Alright, next up on our list is Onward. For those of you who don't know what Onward is basically a military simulation style FPS multiplayer shooter that has solo or co-op versus AI, 30 different weapons, artificial locomotion, objective-based game modes, and 5v5 online multiplayer. It is closest, I think, to Arma, and that's kind of a stretch, I know, but that's about what I can compare it to from my knowledge. So if you guys are a fan of Arma, I definitely recommend checking this out. You might like it too, you might not, but that's the closest comparison that I can think of. I also can't speak very well, so I apologize. Alright, this one is probably a fan favorite. It is Pavlov. It is extremely popular right now. It is basically the CSGO of VR. And there is a ton of fan support, and the I don't necessarily want to say modding community, but there's a lot of people making maps for the game. I've played on a Halo map, several Halo maps, several Call of Duty maps, and well, CSGO maps. And it definitely is really immersive, and I just gotta say, it's a really well put together game. This is probably one of my must-have games if you have a VR headset. That's pretty much all I gotta say about it. It's awesome. Alright, in the number 1 spot we have Zero Caliber. This is probably the most hyped FPS game I've ever seen come out on VR. It has amazing graphics, and it's probably the closest thing to a Call of Duty style FPS game that I've ever seen, for VR that is. So far, I don't believe that they have the PvP multiplayer out yet. I'm not 100% sure, so don't take my word for it. Last I checked, I don't think that they did, though. They do have co-op and a story mission, or the story missions and all that, and you can play co-op throughout the entire thing, and it does seem pretty fun. But I can't wait to actually experience the whole game in its entirety. Right now it's in early access, but you can get it right now on Steam. Just keep in mind that they're going to be adding updates to finish the game. Okay, that wraps up this top 10 list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I spent quite a bit of time on this, and honestly, it just feels really good to get back into this. Hopefully I wasn't gone too long and you guys are still here, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. Expect another video coming soon. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next, but we'll figure it out before next weekend. That's probably only when I can upload is on the weekends, because that's the only time I have enough time to sit down, record, and edit, and all that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Zero once again. Peace out.